What's up, y'all? So I announced this on Twitter. I originally was gonna review the first X-Men. I didn't envision Expendables 4 being so fucking shit that I had to forgo that. So we will do X-Men most likely tomorrow, and then I'll probably roast Spy Kids on Sunday. Holy shit. What a day of shit. Because first, I watched The Continental, the John Wick spinoff. My God, it was bad. It was so boring. I guess I'll do a quick review of that. The fight scenes were okay, but they were very few and far between. The guy who plays Winston is awful, has no presence. Sharon, Lance Reddick's character, that guy has no presence. You have Mel Gibson, but he's only in like 2, maybe 3 scenes. I think it's 2 though. Like there's like 2 that I remember. And the Continental's not even really explored. The fucking you just see kind of random like assassins, but they're not even characters. You're stuck on these random side characters. Like there's one like this like she's a female, like this cop. It's like, do we really need a? Why am I watching? Like, I just do a cop series. Like, unfortunately, the only positives I really have for the show is that it looks good, like some of the city effect. But the problem was because this is gonna be like a 3-part event. Basically, the episodes are gonna basically be like movie length. It's like an hour and a half essentially. It was like hour and 26, but it was just like nothing was happening. It was just I was so bored, and so yeah, like I was expecting the show to be like really exploring the continent. Well, no, we're not even doing that. It's just boring bullshit. And then we get Expendables. So disappointing. I mean, obviously, I wasn't expecting it to be great. I was thinking, I was gonna be like in the lines of the Meg 2, where it was just gonna be dumb fun. There's gonna be a lot of shit that didn't make sense on the plot wise side, but just get some fun at. No, we didn't even get that. It was not. To be fair, this movie just was. I was so positive going in on it. That's why I'm gonna probably title this video "I Feel Fucking Betrayed" because I do. I low key feel that way. Like I was not expecting this shit. This is like I was saying this talking with my friend Mara about this that it's basically it felt like I watched Scream 5 again. What I mean is that reaction I had after that is the same. Mix someone throw in Jeepers Creepers 3, just how bad that was. Like I have very little positives. Like the only positives I can say is some of the chemistry between Barney and Ross is still there. Barney and fucking um and Jason Statham is good, but unfortunately we don't even get a lot of that. So and Megan Fox, I had a bad feeling going because there were so many action chicks you could have went with instead of her. I saw someone even mention like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Someone mentioned Michelle Rodriguez. Like I would have been fine with either of those. Someone like that who's already done action but is also good at. They're good actresses. Megan Fox just does. She doesn't fit. And I was right. I was hoping like maybe Jason Statham can carry now. Not even. And none of the chemistry's really there with the team either. Like I just feel like it's just like not there. Well, because a lot of the team we even care about aren't there anymore. Like we only really have Randy Couture, you have Gunner, Barney, Statham, and that's it. Like that's like the original team essentially. What 50 Cent? I like him. I've seen him in movies. He's not a bad actor. I've seen him in other stuff. He should not have been in this movie. You should have just tried to get Wesley Snipes back. He's still, like, I think he's still in the shape to do, but I mean, unfortunately, he was in that dog shit Coming to America, too. But, it wasn't like he's not doing movies anymore, so you could have tried to get him. You should have tried to, or try to get some of the actors you had from Kellen Lutz, get fucking Antonio Banderas back. Like, I think Antonio Banderas is at an age where he still can go. So it's like, why not try to get him, get Wesley Snipes back, like I said, try to get Terry Crews back. I think Terry Crews has been willing to come back if he had a good story. But no, you didn't have a good story. Because the plot is like, they got to get some warheads from. Because we're led to believe that the dude from The Raid, who, really good actor, he should not have been the villain of the movie, or one of the villains of the movie. Because the reveal of Ocelot, which is Andy Garcia, we knew he was the fucking. He was so. The movie is very fucking telegraphed. Like, I knew Barney wasn't gonna fucking die, but why even do that? Why not just have fucking. Because this is. I love Jason Statham, but this isn't. Arguably, I think Barney's. This is his franchise. So you write him out of the whole fucking movie, basically. So a lot of the scene we saw in the trailers of him is pretty much all you get. I like the bar fight in the beginning, because that felt classic Expendables. You know, they go to the bar. Barney wants his ring back. You know, they beat up some dudes in the bar. Like, that's classic Expendables. But another thing, the fucking soundtrack was so fucking shit. Because the soundtrack's supposed to be like, it's 80s rock. Because it's supposed to be a classic action. No, they have like hip hop, a lot of pop. Some weird, like, the only rock song we kind of got was Don't Fear the Reaper. But it was a fucking cover band. You couldn't just play the song on the radio or something. No, it was so bad. The fucking CGI was horrible, but I was saying this a lot today. I could have overlooked that if your fucking movie was good, because the Meg, too. I like that movie. But there's a lot of some CGI and that doesn't look good. But the movie itself was fun enough that I could kind of get over it. But no, you didn't even do that. So the CGI is just not, I can't not notice it, especially towards the end. When this is towards the end, the team's getting on this boat. They're getting off this big boat, right? They get on the smaller boat, and my god, it looks so bad. There's scenes that don't even look like they're outside. Fucking, you could tell this was filmed like during COVID. It was horrible, man. The plot's non-existent, and that's fine. I would have been fine if you just had a fun fucking action movie. Because the Meg, let's be real, those don't really have a plot. The reason I'm comparing that, because that was like, you know what? Another movie Statham was in that actually was way better than this. Fast X. And I hate to fucking say, because I'm not even a Fast and Furious fan like that, but that was a better Expendables movie. Because at least there was fun. The story was there somewhat. It was a fun little flick. You had a fun bad guy at least. Expendables is always that, like, you know, I can't think of the actor's name right now, but he was good in the first movie. The dude from the first one's great. Honestly, Jean-Claude Van Damme was good, even though he was a little over the top in some scenes. And Mel Gibson, in my opinion, is the best of the franchise. And Expendables 3 was better. Even the PG-13 cut. Because at least the team was still being the team. The team just wasn't there. None of the banter. Once Barney died, the banter just wasn't there. They tried to do this thing with Gunner and fucking 50 Cent's character, where like they have fake beef and then their whole arc is towards the end. Oh, they're cool. It's like, who cares? Why not just get a lot of the characters from the third one back? Fine, like, I'm not expecting to get all of them back, but I get some of them. Megan Fox was just her fucking intro. Like, literally the intro of the movie is Barney, and it starts at a weird point too. Barney and Statham are arguing, and then she shows up because she's yelling at fucking Statham. It's so bad. It's like her, and then every line she's like, that's like probably the most emotion, and then the rest of the movie is like, she's just reading off a script. I was saying that earlier. Like, it very much is just she was reading it off a script. There was some potential in this movie. Andy Garcia is a good actor. One, you should have just had him be the villain from the jump. Some of the explosion effects look so bad. The reveal that Barney was alive just got nothing out of me. And then that was the scene you saw in the trailer. And then unfortunately, yeah, is the positive that it's R-rated, but a lot of the kills you saw in the trailer, they're not, like, when you actually see them in the movie, it's just like, oh, okay. Because you've already seen a lot of them in the trailer. There's not really one that wowed me like that. And then they bring in this character, Lash, who we can't even care about because she's barely fucking introduced. She's fucking there she's randomly shows up in the middle of the movie. No build up. I was saying she should have been Megan Fox's role. If I was gonna stick with these characters, I would have had her be Megan Fox's role because I actually think at least she looks the part, and when she talks, she doesn't like. At least she somewhat can deliver a line. Um, just nothing. There's nothing to care about. So, in my opinion, guys, do not fucking watch this one. This one is not even worth watching. Just if you're gonna watch it, wait till like it gets on a streaming service for free. Don't watch it like in theaters. There's nothing worth seeing it in theaters because all you're gonna see is just how bad the background is and all that shit. It like really makes it even. But like I said, if you had a fun fucking story, I could get over that. But no, you had to fuck it up. Have Stallone, and it makes me wonder. Like, I'm wondering how. I'm surprised Stallone agreed to this because, especially because he's been in some really good shit lately, and then him to be in, Rambo: Last Blood was only a couple years ago. And I really love that. The first few Creed movies, it's like, what the fuck? Why come back and then just barely be in the fucking movie? And then at least have Statham be the focus, and they barely do that, in my opinion. Because they had to focus on, like, the new team. The team is just not there. Like, one of the things that made the Expendables movies great is the banter between the team, and just none of that is there here. So, if you're gonna watch it, just wait till, like, streaming. There's no point in seeing this in theaters. Such a fucking waste. I'm so disappointed. I'm still pretty pissed off about it. It's just like, how to fuck up just a dumb, fun, fucking late summer movie? Because I know it's not fully fall yet. So it's kind of like somewhat getting to that, still somewhat summer kind of movie, and you fuck it up. So yeah, I'm never watching this again. Why the whole Barney thing is just so frustrating. It's like, why the fuck did you have to do that? Why can't you just have him in the fucking movie? It's so stupid. Just to have that shitty and then because when there's a scene where he shoots like the fucking ship and it looks so bad. Like the explosion looks like clearly like rendered on a fucking computer, and they just filmed it. It's like, holy fuck. Like, Expendables didn't always have the greatest graphics anyway, but at least the story was kind of distracts you from it. This one didn't do that. So fucking disappointing. It barely feels like a sequel too. Like, it really doesn't. It just kind of feels like it almost could be like a first in the franchise. It doesn't even feel like a sequel. So yeah. I said this on Twitter. So 4 out of 10, but I borderline want to give it a 3. Just because, just almost like an extra fuck you, because the fact that you could take something like this and just fuck it, it's easy. Just make dumb fun action, get some cool action stars, make some dumb fucking action, and do that for an hour and a half. No, you couldn't even fucking do that. So yeah, so disappointed. So tomorrow, I'm going to talk about something I like. I'll be doing the X-Men, the first ones. I actually watched that one today. So at least have somewhat of a palate cleanser. And, there's little things there in it that don't hold up, but the first X-Men is so fucking good, man. It holds up. Hugh Jackman's entrance as Wolverine. I love, like, the way they really match the tone of the comics. Like I said, the things that don't hold up is, like, the costumes. I'm sorry, they don't. Mystique's effects look really good. That was one of the things, and not just because obviously she's fucking hot. Rebecca Romijn killed it, but she has that mysteriousness, and Patrick Stewart really captures Professor X. Like, he's one of those castings I would say that it's like I can't see anyone else as Professor X now. Same with Ian McKellen. Well, Ian McKellen borderline because Michael Fassbender was really good as Magneto in the newer ones, but Ian McKellen was Magneto. Like, he captured Eric Luncher perfectly. So that's gonna be fun to talk about. At least talk about something I like. So, but let's get into. Man, I'm just so sad. Just because it's like you just fuck up dumb fun. Like, how do you do that? But then I think about they fucked up Scream. They fucked up a lot of franchises that are like should be fucking slam dunks, but they have fucked it over. I mean, even just this week talking about No Time to Die. So speaking of which, I'll figure out what I'm gonna do on Tuesdays now, since my Tuesdays are basically free. Since I'm well, this Tuesday I'm gonna do my Bond pitch since it makes sense to do that after. And actually, I may have to do a pitch for Expendables 4. Because I'm not even against the idea of them doing a fourth one. Like, if you have a good story and there's something to tell, and there's some newer action stars you could bring in, and they didn't even try that. Yeah, it's sad, man. It's like I don't know. It reeks of like they just saw it try to make a quick buck, and if it does terribly in the box office, I'm okay with it because it's so disappointing. Anyway, let's get into it. So, like I said, the movie literally starts with Megan Fox just going off on Jade. It was so bad. So badly fucking done. It just did not care. And just how much of a bitch she was. And I'm like, this is how you introduce her? Like, that's such a bad way to introduce. So they go to the bar. Um, and try to retrieve. Okay, I think I remember. I think his name is Frank. So Barney's, um, ring. Which I'll admit, this scene was good, and like when Barney's on screen, it does somewhat feel like Expendables, but not really in the end. Like in this part of the film, it does. They beat up some dudes in a bar, and then they get the ring back. Like that was cool. It was pretty brutal. Some of the action was hard hitting, and I was like, okay. Even though that beginning was pretty fucking bad, I thought, okay, maybe it'll get better, but no, it just gets worse. I'm gonna say it again. Another thing that this movie reminds me of, fucking Mortal Kombat 2021. Like it's just because the level of hype I did kind of have for that movie too, and it just was so fucking shit. This feels like that. Like it's like how, and then yeah, so they get offered because at the same time, this is where you see um my dude. Well, I'll just say boyfriend the Rakes. I can't think of his name right now. He just doesn't have. Not every actor can do both, be a hero and a villain. I just don't think he has what it takes to be a villain. You need a certain like gravitas to show to be a villain, and I just don't think he has it. And obviously, the whole reveal later with Ocelot, Andy Garcia's character, that he's the real villain was so shitty. There was not even a reason. Man, Mel Gibson. It's like what a fell off from Mel Gibson's character in the last movie. Just the whole plot doesn't even make any sense. They're trying to get some, I guess, warheads, whatever. And like so I guess they showed a little bit of his fight scenes, but he would have been better off as one of the team. It made no sense. I would have just had Andy Garcia just be the villain from the jump, and then just have that put him in the Expendables. Have him be the character that I guess it's supposed to be Antonio Banderas' son's character's son. It just they don't really show that. He was all right. Some of his action scenes were okay, but because I guess it's someone that Barney knew, because a lot of it came out when he died. So yeah, they get there. The mission ends up. Even the scene where Gunner is trying to like snipe him. It just the way they do it. It was like to make a old man can't see joke. I'm like, I did like the scene where the dude. There's like this other. I can't even think of his name right now. I'm gonna be honest. He was like. He was one of the new people. He was alright, I guess. He impaled a dude's head on a spike. I thought that was pretty brutal. But we saw that in the trailer. So, but unfortunately, yeah, their vehicles get disabled, and Barney gets his plane shot down, and it seemingly looks like he died. And then they don't even explain how he fucking faked his death either. Like, because I'm just saying, I knew he faked his death. I'm like, they're not gonna kill him like that. Even how retarded this movie is, I think they go that retarded, extra further retarded. So no, He didn't die, but it was so there was no point, and they don't even explain how. They just, oh, it happened. I faked my death, and then I come back at the last second. If you're gonna do that, I think the other problem is maybe if this movie's a bit longer, you could have had him come in a bit earlier, and no, I was so disappointed. I Because to me, this is I look at this as more, even though it is an ensemble franchise, I do still see it as more of a Stallone vehicle than a Statham vehicle. So, but then if they were gonna, but they didn't. So they hired his girlfriend instead because the mission doesn't go well, and Statham lashes out. What? So bad, man. This is the scene where they have the "Don't Fear the Reaper" cover. I'm like, why not just play the actual song? Did you just not want to play the license? That reeks of they didn't want to pay the license. It totally does. They probably didn't even want to pay the license. So let's just do a cover. But like, get the fuck out of here, you cheap motherfuckers. And it shows because how cheap the CGI looks at times. Like the scenes where they're on the boat look so bad. Like the sky clearly looks fake. It's like this. They had to film this during. Like they should have just waited. Like they could have filmed it like this year or even last year. If they filmed this last year, it's insane because the lockdown should have been over by that point. They couldn't. Oh my god, man! When I like you do shit like that, I was saying like this feels like Jeepers Creepers Reborn because they did the same thing where they didn't actually have actual backgrounds. There's a lot of digital backgrounds. They did the same thing here, and it just looks so bad. It was cheap looking. I could have gotten over that, but no, no. So, because then yeah, the rest of the movie secretly Frank's doing the mission. And then there's this scene that's supposed to be like the cup. And yeah, he has no chemistry with Megan Fox, Jason Statham at all. They don't have any fucking chemistry. They try to do this scene like before he goes on his own. It's like, oh, they, wrestle each other and shit before they hook. I'm like, there's nothing there. It's just flat. I'm sorry. She is so out of her fucking element. She doesn't belong in these kind of movies. Like, yeah, she was in the Bay Formers films, but she was a girlfriend character. She's not an action actress. You should have got like Michelle Rodriguez, Mary Elizabeth Winstead has been in action movies, and I think she would have pulled it off. Like someone like her, either one of those two. I even said Kate Beckinsale. Get someone Lucy Liu, even get someone like who's experienced in action and also a good actress, and they just didn't. And maybe that scene could have worked, and it just doesn't. So then randomly, this is where they bring in Lash, who we don't know nothing of her character, and we can't even get invested. And all I was thinking, like, she should have been Megan Fox's role. If you're gonna just have, if I was stuck with these characters, I would have just had her be Megan Fox's role, because at least she somewhat tried. And I think if they given her something to work with, it's just they didn't give any character to work. We didn't care about 50 Cent. He's just there. He was 50 Cent playing 50 Cent. And I don't even blame him if it was the case of the story is bad. I'm just gonna phone it and take my money. Like, oh, why did they go this route, man? Like, how do you like? It's just so insane to me. How Expendables is such a slam dunk. Have them just shoot bad guys, have some funny banter between the team, and that's like the thing that always carried these movies from even three, which is like the weakest to me of the main three. Because I don't even count this as canon. This is like this just exists. So, but like, yeah, Expendables 3 was always like, even though it is weak, one thing that carried it. You still had that team. Even Kelsey Grammer shows up later in the movie. You have some good characters, so there's still that banter between the team. Yeah, Megan, Ronda Rousey's there, but like overall, it's still a fun Expendables experience. This is just not that. They clearly didn't give a fuck. This was they just it now seeing it reeks of like they just wanted to try to get some money and not even. I think they were so cheap. That's why they didn't get a lot of notice. They didn't get a lot of. If you watch this movie, you're gonna notice they didn't get a lot of other Expendables Because one of the things that made the Expendables is the cast kind of grew. In the second one, it happened, and definitely in the third one. But this one, it's like, no, you just gotta get the same people and then like two new people. I guess three. Lash, 50 Cent, and then that other guy. So three. But that other guy is like nameless. Just makes pervert jokes. Whatever. He doesn't even like. None of them have names, really. They have names. I just don't even. They're not memorable at all. I had something in my gut just told me that Megan Fox she just didn't fit. When I saw her, I'm like, that was like kind of a bad sign, ultimately now looking at it, that she just didn't fit. But I was like, maybe Jason Statham, no, they have no chemistry. And it's just because it shows she's not that kind of, even for like an action movie where some of the acting is always the greatest, she just doesn't have it. She doesn't fit. There's so many other women you could have went with for this role. Even Michelle Yeoh, even though she's a bit older, she's done action flicks. You could have went with someone like her. There's so many other women you literally could have went with, not fucking Megan Fox. So we get the reveal. I'm just gonna kind of rush it because really the plot doesn't even matter. Ocelot reveals himself even because he fakes himself getting basically kidnapped. Statham kills dude from the raid. And the final fight just isn't that good. Some of Statham's kills leading up to that were okay, but I just didn't care at this point. I just kind of wanted to end. Luckily, the movie's only like an hour and a half or some shit, or hour and 40, something like that. It's not too long, but it's such a disappointing experience. Very deflated is the word I thinking of in my head right now. Deflated. I should not leave an action movie feeling deflated. Especially the same fucking month we had fucking Equalizer 3. Like, come on! Like, just thinking about that now. We had Equalizer 3 in the same month. Think about that. Dude gets stabbed in the eye and he shoots a dude through the eye. I'm not saying it was. Expendables had crazy action scenes, and nah, you didn't even really have that because they showed a lot of the action in the trailer. So Barney shows up because the team initially goes after Ocelot. Well, they initially take out the other guy, and then we get the reveal that Ocelot, and there's no kill switch, so whatever. They take out a lot of bad guys. They try to leave the boat to another boat, and this is the scene I was talking about. How bad it looked. Like, there's the shot of them getting on the other boat looks so bad. Like, it's clearly fucking green screen, and they just... wow. Like, y'all actually released this pile of shit in theaters. But then, Barney shows up in a helicopter, which even the helicopter looked fake as fuck. And I did like the little banter between him and Frank, but it just wasn't there. It just didn't matter because you just sidelined Barney for no fucking reason. Like, ultimately, if you think about it, there was no reason to sideline him. So, okay, they beat the bad guys. The team does well. They have like the classic celebration at the bar. Movie ends. Fuck this movie. Such a disappointment. Why even make this if this is what you're gonna fucking do? Oh, man. And it sucks because how good action up until this movie was doing. Extraction 2? Fucking John Wick 4? Fucking Equalizer 3? Action, even fucking Fast X was pretty decent. So it's like, we had pretty good action largely, and then you do this. Like, why, man? Ugh, I was so looking forward to this. I was expecting just dumb... Even the Meg. Fuck it. Even the Meg was dumb fun action. I was thinking that's what this movie was going to be akin to. Nah. The acting's bad largely. It feels kind of phoned in thinking about it, and I don't blame them because I'd phone it in. Because there's clearly no characters to put in any. The soundtrack is supposed to be kind of fun 80s or even a little bit just basic score, but I would more prefer do like like songs like in the trailer for the first Expendables, it was like Paradise City by Guns N' Roses. So you got to do songs like that. Even Metallica, fucking um, a lot of '80s hit metal kind of. You got to go with that kind of soundtrack, and you just didn't. Because I think the fact that he played "Don't Fear the Reaper," but it was a fucking cover version. Granted, it was it fucked up though because the movie even points it out because he leave Frank is leaving the after yelling at Ocelot. Oh, Frank hated cover band, so it's like then why play a cover band? It's like just so you can make that joke. It's like get out of here. Just play Don't Fear the Reaper. It's like, but it reeks of you didn't want to fucking pay royalties. That's what it was. You didn't want to pay to use it. You cheap motherfuckers. And it shows with the CGI clearly, but it's like, it's so bad when it shows and everything. Like, you didn't want to pay license for a song. So sad, man. Deflated is the word I'm thinking of. So this title's gonna be I Feel Betrayed because I do. Because how do you fuck this up? When the Meg is, I was thinking we were gonna get something like that, dumb fun. Not the plot doesn't really gonna make sense, but you just gonna be a lot of cool action. These action start, but there's no rhythm between the team. Like once Barney dies, there's no chemistry with the team at all. Like the scenes where they're in the plane, you just don't care. I don't care about any of the banter. Like there's this forced like beat between Dolph and 50 Cent. Like there's a couple of scenes where they get into each other's face. It's like, oh my god, why are we doing this? Just so we could have him in the end. Like, oh, I think 50 Cent saves him, like saves Gunner from being like killed, and it's like, oh, we're cool now. It's like, get out. I don't care. It's when you make me don't care in an Expendables movie. Yeah. So just stick with the first three. If you're gonna watch this one, wait till like streaming or it's on a streaming service or something, or online, on the seas. I mean, it's already there right now, technically. But if you want to wait for like a better quality version, yeah, don't watch it in theaters. It's not worth seeing. One, all you're gonna do is exasperate how bad the CGI is. Because I even like took a look really quick on the online version. Even there, I just kind of skipped through. I didn't watch it or anything. I just kind of skipped at certain parts. Even the background looks bad on that. So when you can see it's bad on that kind of quality where it's cam, even then, but like it's obviously worse when you actually see it on a bigger, good screen. So yeah, it's not good. So fuck this movie. For 3 out of 10, I'm sorry. I'm gonna punish it. 3 out of 10. When you can't, this should have been a slam dunk. You should have had carryovers from the last movie and at least we would have had chemistry. And I'm not even against the idea of Barney dying if you actually did it, but not in the. It's so sad. So anyway, I had to roast this piece of shit. Sorry, I'll talk about X-Men tomorrow. So I'll talk about something positive, either tomorrow night or most likely I'll try to do it tomorrow night, if anything. Because yeah, talk about something I like. Because the first X Men is so good. It is such a classic. The cast. I mean, Halle Berry's Storm is iffy at times. Like the line with lightning. Like what happens when a toad gets hit with like same thing that happens to everything. Like that's not good. But I think she's fine largely. I mean, you probably could have gotten someone else, but it's fine. Um, I do, but overall, I love the movie. They really captured the aesthetic, the Xavier Institute and the whole world of the X-Men. And I actually really think Senator Kelly's a good, like, antagonist in the beginning, somewhat. Not antagonist, but, like, somewhat antagonist in the beginning. Obviously towards mutants. And so, yeah, and obviously Tyler Mane is pretty decent as Sabretooth. I think my only problem is I don't like how he gets taken out. I think he should have been in the second movie. Sabretooth is so vital to Logan's story, and obviously we know that what happens in the second one. They go very much in, basically a little bit into Wolverine. So it's like they should have had him in the movie. I don't know if they just couldn't get Tyler Mane, or they thought it worked better if he gets beaten, or I guess dies because he gets flinged out of a building. He gets shot out of the Statue of Liberty with Cyclops eyes, like lasers. So it was dumb. I think he should have survived. But overall, I think he played a good Sabretooth in the beginning. The fights were pretty good. Obviously another negative. I don't want to go on too long because I don't want to make this a review of that movie. I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. But Rogue, it is not even how Anna Paquin played her. It's this. It was the time. This was the early 2000s, probably filmed in the late 99 or something like that. And they were probably trying to go with the teen angst of the era, and I just don't think they should have did that because that's not Rogue. I would have rather them have just done Rogue like the comics, but that's the only thing I'd change. But overall, I still think it's a classic movie. It, the simplicity of the plot, X-Men versus Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. That's kind of really all it is. Very simple. So, but anyway, guys, fuck Expendables 4. This is gonna go on to one of the worst lists. This is gonna be on my worst list of the year now. And I was not thinking. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I didn't think that wasn't gonna think that was gonna happen today. I was thinking, be dumb fun, maybe not the best thing in the world, but yeah.